behind you. Wave to 7.
Gets it down on the apron without further contact. Jostling further back, but no other collision.
That was luck.
And Rowdy Bush, winner of 24 races across NASCAR's top 3 series last year, has brought out the first caution of the day.
See what happened here. Up on the outside. Gets a shove from Michael there in the 15 car. Wrong place, wrong time.
Dale Jr. had to start this race from the back, but his 88's coming to the front. 8th place and coming.
We've seen these two guys. These two guys actually wrecked in practice. That was, oh, we got a smoker up in here. Somebody's got something blowing out. Who is it?
J.J. Yaley, who raced his way into the 500 with a fine drive in Thursday's qualifying race. Drifting to the middle of the pack and trailing smoke. Caution is out for the second time. Caution is out for the 3rd time in the Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick appeared to lose an engine off turn number 2, and his car slowed up. There's Harvick's car going to the garage. Jeff Gordon got into the back of Robbie Gordon. We'll show you Jeff Gordon's car. Here's what happened at turn 2.
You know, Larry and Mike, I'm almost thinking, I know there's smoke and it's probably pretty hard to see, but Trevor Bayne is right on him. I think he was afraid to slow down too quickly, afraid that Trevor might turn him around. So I think it was a combination of smoke and then somebody right on his back bumper.
Outside him, outside him. Right in front of us, man, right in front of us is a blown engine. Get down. We got in the back of the 7 pretty hard. 10-4.
Jeff Gordon trying to win his 4th Daytona 500. There's a bit of damage to the bumper cover.
We've seen these things go out through the grass pretty hot and heavy and come right back up on the track and continue on. This nose they got on this car this year, Larry, is a tough.
We know better.
Think you could drive a car, folks, at home 200 miles an hour?
Closer together than most people park.
Yeah, 200 miles an hour with somebody pushing.
Trouble, turn 3.
Big wreck.
Brian Keselowski, David Rudiman, Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth,
big
and
wreck.
half the field.
I see about 3 of the Hendrick cars there that's involved.
Mark Martin is there. I see him. There's a Biffle. Jimmy Johnson's laying over there. There's a 24 car. Looks pretty bad.
Brian Vickers limping around. And Mark Martin is part of it. Greg Biffle got a piece of it. Joe Nemechek's right front all torn up. The 9 of Marcus Ambrose.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened here, Larry. They're running awfully close together.
Watch the top right of your screen coming
right up
in.
Here.
Michael into his teammate Rudiman.
Got Rudiman loose.
Right in front of Keselowski. Here comes Nemechek. Pow into Michael.
Look at. Nope, didn't make it. Didn't make it.
Brian Keselowski, we just talked about, was involved. That white car up against the wall there.
There's Mark Martin down here, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon. My. Let's see if we can see anything. Well, there's not a whole lot to see. Michael just got into the back of the. Tony Stewart did the same thing to Michael in the Bud shootout. Got into him pretty hard and turned him around right there and got Michael with it.
And Darrell, everybody was going to the apron, but those cars sliding off 31 degrees of banking, that's where they're going to end up.
It's kind of an old saying down here. What goes down must come up. And you try to go around on the outside if you can.
Jimmy Johnson's 48 just barely got into the back of Matt Kenseth to do enough damage to the right front.
The old Aaron Stream machine, she's done.
Marcus Ambrose is going to the garage for repair. Michael Waltrip's car comes steaming toward the garage.
Brian Vickers in the 83 car gets a lot of damage. Marcus Ambrose in the 9.
Look at that. 3 Hendrick cars, 24, 48, and 5, all slamming into each other.
Back it down, back it down, back it down. Come on. Still coming. We're spun around over here, guys. We're down to the right side.
And now ride with Mark Martin.
You still 3 are sitting in front of you. Get down if you can. Get back up. Get back up. 9 car to spun us. 83 in the door.
And Jeff Gordon's view.
22 right in front of us. Right in front of us. Check it up. Check up. Check up. Check up. Check up. Check up. Get up. Wide in front of you, in front of you, in front of you. Correct.
Dave Blaney driving for Tommy Baldwin. And Al Hankey out. Oh, not some. Oh, car in the wall. Front straightaway. And it is Richardson. Robert Richardson into the inside wall, coming toward the start-finish line. And that will put us under caution for the 5th time.
Yeah, tied off the corner.
I just think that's right back to what I was saying about the track. I think it's given up some grip that these guys have had down here when it's been at night, been cool. This place gets slick in the daytime.
And Robert Richardson. Oof.
Sure glad they put that safer barrier down along that inside wall there, because we've had a lot of people get into it.
Hard hit. Travis Kvapil is the car behind. And this is the 2nd caution in a row, watching from our Fox Exmo extreme slow motion cam, where we've had one car trying to help another and instead taking them out of the race.
Yeah, that's actually teammates right there. Robert Richardson and the other car that got into the back of him.
And in both cases, I think a lot of it has been the guy in the front had to get up out of the gas a little bit, or something happened with the car in the front. The guy behind him just. Well, if you didn't have those gloves on, you'd see a lot of white knuckles. That's all I can tell you. It physically wears you out.
This is Brian Vickers, who just came out of the garage after damage from the big pileup. He's not going to make it back around to the garage. Now Greg Biffle is back on track. Jimmy Johnson came out of the garage, made a lap, and went back to the garage. The last time by, we saw a good bit of contact in the path, and caution is out for Brian Vickers. His car is in harm's way, and look at Stewart. Boy, he got a little bite from the left side from Jamie Mack.
I think these guys have got so many voices in their head. They got so much going on that when the caution comes out, they're not slowing down like normal. That's just, the caution comes out and you bam, you start running into people. And I just wonder, Larry, if the spotters have so much going on that they just can't get the message out quick enough.
Here's what happened. Travis Kvapil, who turned Richardson around for the last caution, gets up out of the groove, knocks the long john and the silver off the right side of his car.
Had all the look that a right front tire was going down on that car.
Good point. Time for an AT&T race break. Down to Chris. Juan Pablo Montoya has spun off turn 4 to put us under caution for the 8th time today. He didn't hit anything and continued on to pit road. Caution is out. Dick Berggren. Watch the 42, the target car. Jamie McMurray behind him. Montoya goes around, and what a save at 200 miles an hour. He drives it onto pit road and to the caution flag.
World class right there.
We talked earlier about Regan Smith, who has been with the leaders all day. Now his number 78 is out of that lead pack and back at 8th place. Steve?
And Mike, Larry just talked about the understand the caution out. Back to you, Mike.
Yellow flag as Travis Kvapil limps onto pit road. And back to Steve.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud.
The 2009 winner of the 500, Matt Kenseth, has crashed hard in the tri-oval. He's climbed out of the car. He is okay. He was being bump drafted by Greg Biffle. You're riding with Biffle.
Guy in front of Matt can't pick a lane.
I think Biffle was trying to go down to get him behind Matt and just mistimed it a little bit. Clipped him in the right rear and shot him into the outside wall. And again, see all those styrofoam blocks? That's the safer barrier. Man, that is the greatest thing since interliners and tires.
Again, Matt Kenseth climbed from his car. He was okay. Here's looking back from Joey Logano. vicious hit. Here it is on our Fox Exmo cam.
And did you see how close he came to taking Montoya out?
Tenth caution flag of this Daytona 500. It comes out with 64 laps to go and 26 cars on the lead lap. Truex will bring him off the corner. Here is Dick Berggren.
Matt Kenseth's trouble on the racetrack.
And it is Montoya crashing along with Greg Biffle. And again, Montoya makes a great save to come down pit road as the caution flag flies for the 11th time today as they slow down to pace car speed. Let's get back to Dick Berggren, who is with the driver taken out in the last incident. Thank you, Dick. This ties the record for caution flags in the 500 at 11. Top of your screen, here they come off turn 4.
Well, I think you got to remember something too about that 16 car. It's been wrecked once, and so it's not handling all that great. And Montoya just got into the back of him. And you know, Larry, one thing, and Mike, these guys have been so complimentary of each other. Oh, it wasn't his fault. Just racing.
Look at that yellow car of Kurt Busch dive to the inside and escape down pit road, as does Ryan Newman.
So much of that has to do with this fresh asphalt. It has a ton of grip. You can turn that car just dead left straight down pit road.
Fresh grass doesn't have much grip at all.
Still clear by 3 out back. Montoya pushing. And he turned his head on. On pit road now. In the grass. Take it easy. Nothing's coming at you. Hold her down right there. Nothing.
And on our Fox Exmo cam,
we were talking about synchronized racing. That's synchronized spinning right there.
look at Montoya, the car control, locks the brake, waits on it, unlocks the brake to make the turn to pit road while Biffle is headed for the grass.
Like a snow plow going through there.
Yeah. That nose is tough, though. Look at it. It's eating that grass up, but it's not affecting that nose other than from the wreck. But the part's still there. It's not even moving. I'm telling you.
3 Chevys and a Toyota out front. The 2007 winner, Kevin Harvick, has tweeted that he is back home after falling out of the race with a blown engine. 42nd place. Harvick says, sounds like a wild race.
What it is, I don't see nothing.
38 car hit the wall.
Kevin, it is a wild race, and into the wall for the 3rd time today. Travis Kvapil, caution waves for the 12th time.
Mike, what this caution does, you got to make sure you get that car full of fuel. This puts you right there where you can get to the end, but just remember, you always have the chance of green, white checkers.
Oh, I'd almost guarantee that.
Probably the first time Kvapil hit the wall did enough damage to cause the second 2 times, and been a tough day for Front Row Motorsports, as it has been for several teams today.
You got me, Trevor?
Oh, trouble.
Yeah, who's this?
Turn 3.
Hey, bud.
Into the wall goes Kozlowski.
They were 3 wide getting in there. I was just about ready that there was going to be trouble in turn 3, and sure enough.
And there's more. Another car involved after
Is that
trying
Regan
to drive
Smith?
out of it, and it's Regan Smith.
I thought it was. Did he hit anything? It looks pretty clean.
I don't think so, Darrell. I think he just got turned around.
Slowed up and got turned around.
So caution is out again. Record number of cautions. This is number 13.
Yeah, they were getting wadded up going into 3 over there, and then there were 3 wide, and oh, look at Brad's car. It's killed. You can see right in here, there's just a big wad of cars, and
Robbie Gordon.
like Robbie got into the back of Brad. And you know, you just can't say what happened. You don't know if Brad had to lift. You don't know if he was trying to change lanes.
That's what sent Smith to the infield.
He got down there and hit Joey Logano on the 20 that got into the side of Regan Smith in the 78.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty hard lick on that 20 too, Larry. Robbie gets a little contact.
Oh, Tony, big miss right there.
Great job there.
Look at Montoya
once again just slips by. Then
as he comes down the track,
when he comes down the hill, this is when
trouble.
he's going to get into the side of the 20 car. Right there.
Look at Stephen Wallace in that 77. What a job.
He missed one.
What a job by him, though.
Yay!
Right here in front. Stay low, stay low, stay low, stay low. Just check up, stay low. Get on the apron, on the apron.
That sounded pretty hard.
Tony Stewart had a split second. Not even time to decide, just time to react, and he missed it. Digger didn't. We're under caution in Daytona. Here comes David Reagan and Trevor Bayne in the 21, and on the outside, Clint Boyer and Kyle Busch.
Yeah, don't.
South.
Oh,
Caution
full car
out.
in the wall. Caution out.
Turn 4, caution's out.
Casey Kane into the wall, and we're told that the defending champion of the 500, Jamie McMurray, is down a cylinder.
Yeah, he went by here sounding really, really bad, really ragged.
Watch the number 4 of Casey Kane. It's like Carl Edwards knew something was wrong. He got off Kane, and Kane went up and into the wall.
Looked like Kane had a tire go down. He just kind of eased up the hill there and smacked the wall. Yep, right front.
The 33 of Boyer, the 18 of Kyle Busch, they're blocked. They can't go anywhere right now because they're 3 wide in front of them.
6 times a driver has scored his first sprint. Oh! Smith gets turned in front of Boyer and Newman and Hamlin.
Keep coming, keep coming. Caution's out now. Wait them off, wait them off.
That's because Smith got a little bit of a gap between he and Busch, and Busch slammed into him.
And here it is from the blimp. Watch the bottom of your screen, 78-22.
Watch this gap that the 78 gets off the corner here now. Now, Kurt Busch says he's getting I see he's getting a push from Tony. He slams into, he didn't get hooked up smooth. He slammed into the back of the 78, and that just turned him into the outside wall.
Dave Blaney scoots through.
Hamlin was on the brakes, locking up. He's going to have to come to pit road because he's got flat spotted tires. But that was just from getting a little bit of a gap, and then Tony Stewart got behind Kurt Busch and just pushed him up, and he slammed into the back of Regan Smith in the 78 and turned him in the outside wall.
Left front damage on Hamlin. The nose gone on Boyer's car. Left front damage to Newman. Right side damage to Smith. There you see it.
It was almost guaranteed, Larry. I didn't see how they could keep pushing it like that, the way they were. 3 wide this late in the day.
That's the 2 cars that's led to most laps in this Daytona 500, Ryan Newman and Clint Boyer.
And Regan Smith, what a wonderful day he had had up to
Wonderful week.
Great. You see right there, that was just too hard to hit. Even though it's on the straightaway, these cars are harder to control down the straightaway than they are in the corner with the banking.
Newman and Boyer have made pit stops, and they are able to continue. Now Hamlin has a flat tire. He will pit this time.
Yeah, he flat spotted his tires trying to miss this deal going down the back. Bam.
Regan Smith turned in front of Boyer and Newman. Nowhere to go.
Kyle Busch got some damage as well, left front fender.
Let's ride through this with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
One in front of him, half. He's to him, he's to him. Hey, come on low, come on low, come on low, come on, come on, come on.
Great job, man. Great.
And there's what happened to Denny Hamlin's left front.
But look at the 2 Busch brothers, Kurt Busch in the 22 and Kyle Busch in the 18, working the high side.
I'm hearing they're going, oh, we got a car around. Got a car around right
Robbie
there.
Gordon
Safe.
saves it.
But the 6 is being black flagged, passing before the start-finish line.
And a car in the wall.
Newman again.
Ryan Newman hit the wall.
Oh, no, Junior.
Truex and Junior.
Oh, no, and here's Truex.
Caution is out.
Dang,
Caution is out there, yeah.
Tony Stewart was just a sitting duck right there with no help.
He gets in right here, which is good. But here comes Robbie Gordon with a head of steam. And Tony had filled the hole that Robbie was going to try to go in. Robbie almost saves it.
So Gordon's down and off the racetrack. What happens behind them? A.J. Allmendinger got into Ryan Newman, who got into the wall, who collected Truex, came across, and Junior spun.
It's like some drivers were checking up, some were not.
No pressure there anywhere you want to go. Spinning up there, go high, go high. Watch that 7. Oh, he's coming, come back, come on. No caution, come on. Hello, come on. There you go. Hold the brake. We're in, guys.
Looked like not Allmendinger, but someone to Newman's right.
Yeah,
tipped him.
Newman definitely bounced off the wall and got Junior as he was trying to go by. And I think what happened here is they saw the 7 coming back up on the racetrack, and they were trying to make room, and there wasn't any room. And then Junior just got out there, got turned.
Now Kyle Busch has come to pit road. So has Clint Boyer, and so has Ryan Newman.